Hello and good morning. This is Modified Darvas Box. And it's Sunday, May 19th, 9:17 a.m. And doing another video, a redo of yesterday's video where I did not have the sound on. And it turns out it was a setting in my video software. I was gonna redo the video, but I was so pissed off from it because I thought the video that I did yesterday was just really on point and it's so annoying. So I just went and did the other stuff I had to do yesterday. But now here, re-recording, and let's go through these charts. There's some interesting themes emerging, and I think by the end of the video you'll see what it is I'm talking about. For people who don't know who I am or have never watched one of these videos, I'm an independent trader, investor. I've created my own unique trading system based on the book How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market. It's a wonderful book. I suggest you read it. And then I've also added elements of the strategy, which, if you're interested in learning more about that, you can look it up on Twitter at hashtag the strat. But I said elements, not the whole strategy. But because basically what you see here on my screen is box ranges here. Box are not magic, but they're framing tools to help us understand the chart better. And then signals, which are colored different colors on my charts. And these signals help guide, my decision making for trades, etc. But the thing about signals is that signals alert you to be ready for something, but the reaction to the signal is really the cue for how you're going to trade and or not trade based on the signal. So really reactions are more important than signals themselves. But signals get you ready, get you prepped for something that might happen. Okay, let's get into it. I don't want to go over my time because I've made a bad habit of that lately. I've got 6 lists here, which I'm constantly rearranging stocks on. And it's also a form of relative strength. You start always on indexes. And usually I'm looking here on the right side. I try to go through the charts as quickly as possible. And why quickly? Why not study each one in detail? Well, I'm looking for actionable signals and I'm looking for interesting things that stand out. Because you know what? I think you'd agree with me that the best trades are freaking stand out and are, it's like a flashlight in a dark room. They just slam themselves onto your charts. You just can't ignore them. Whereas mediocre signals are the ones which you spend, 5 hours analyzing, and then after you analyze it, you're like, well, maybe. No, it should be it's crystal clear. I mean, it should be obvious. The best ones are always obvious. Okay, let's get into it here. ARC, I keep this one around mostly because this chart has lots of the color bars, which I can explain to you folks. On, for example, code yellow. These are very bullish signals. Blues are pay attention, and the blues have a tendency to do pullbacks, but not always, because it's a stock market and nothing is ever guaranteed. Pinks are the same as blues, except they had more of a bearish bent to them. But again, they're signals. The reaction is what's most important. And here's a good example. The white bar is the opposite of the yellow. And here's a signal, and you'd expect it to price to drop, but no, it came back with a very bullish signal there. And so you'd expect price to go up. Nope. Instead, it then sold off the next week here and then proceeded to go sideways for the next 4 or 5 months. So that's the thing about signals and colors, etc. I strongly suggest that if you see anything on my charts you like, feel free to copy. The color codings are proprietary, but beyond that, copy away. So ARC, you see here, had a little bit of a rebound, box breakdown, rebound, but it's formed this light gray. That's an inside week. And an inside week is basically a 50-50 proposition. Buy it if it goes to the top side. Sell it if it goes down to the downside. Here was your sell signal about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. It went 50-50. The rest of the market was getting weaker and weaker. There was your trigger, and you had a few down weeks, but then the market decided that hey, things aren't so bad, and now it's been futzing around ever since. Oil, proxy for oil. This one had a signal last week. It triggered but didn't stick, and you see it closed up here. So on time frames, I'm always looking at the next bar, and if the signal doesn't trigger, well, it triggered here, but it didn't stick. So now this signal's off the table. Now you know what? We'll just see where it goes. Right now, oil's sideways. Here's the big kahuna for this week. NASDAQ. Look at that huge volume print. That there is a classic textbook Darvas box breakout. Just like how Nicholas Darvas talked about in his books. And in terms of signals, yeah, maybe you're just now getting bullish, but where you've been, the signals have been, they started a month ago. Now, were they easy signals? No, they were very hard ones. But you had an inside week right here. There's your trigger the next week. But look at that. It slammed around. It took a Friday gap up for that to lock in. But if you observe this signal, yeah, you should have been buying this week. And many stocks got strong in that past week. And now, look at that. Big, strong breakout on big volume. The NASDAQ is definitely bullish. Ethereum, nothing there. What's that? That's a growth. Yeah, growth. You see how growth is sort of matching it? We had the downside move, and then the market recovered. All right. That's where they want to take it. No problem. China. There's your signal. Everybody's been talking about the rebound in China. There's your signal right there. It had a signal here that sort of puttered out, but then it did it again. And now look at that. If you were trading China, you would have taken that. I'm not interested in Chinese names, and it is going sideways in a big Darvas box range. But if you like Chinese stocks, well, go for it. Bitcoin sideways. Notice here, ever since this big red volume bar, it's been going sort of sideways. But there's nothing wrong with it. Are there any signals? Nope, no signals. So if you were bought earlier, like in here or way down here, you should still be long. There's no reason to get out of this. Are you going to be a trend follower and sit and wait patiently and ride the trend? Or are you going to, just knee-jerk emotionally do it? If you did, you probably ended up selling down here, and you regret it. I regret I traded this one here and sold it here, and then I made an error in my interpretation analysis, and I didn't rebuy it. But that's all right. Trades come and go. You can always look for the next trade. Gold, box breakout. Now, volume is light down here. Look at that. So it decided to move higher, but the strength of the move, well, I would have preferred it if it had a big green volume bar. Because sometimes when it's got low volume, then it implies a weak breakout, which means if it encounters a negative week, it may give up a lot more of the gains. But hey, it's bullish. You had this signal right here, but it didn't trigger. So that signal is, once it doesn't trigger, then it's done. It'll be really bullish if it takes out the top of that bar right there. But gold bull market, low volume breakout though. High yield, nothing there. A little rebound, oopsie, a little rebound in software. Home construction. Look at that. Inside bar. Now that's a shooter bar. Shooters are inverse hammers. And now we'll see. There's potential. And no offense, I mean, interest rates and mortgage rates, who's buying homes? Beats me. Micros is sideways. IWM sideways. Everybody thinks IWM is so important. I don't get it. But it is what it is. Look at that. Healthcare rebounding. Huge selling in here. And what do? They rebound it, they pile back in on this, and now it's following the trend. Great. Now, if you had watched this one, you know that that prick Obama screwed up healthcare all the way back for all Americans down here. But, healthcare, until they change it, healthcare should overall be bullish. What's that? Transports. Yep. More signals here. Green volume. Could be stronger, but, what's this? Equal weighted. Yeah, rebounding. Fizz, this is gold. Also, I own this one. Owned it back in here. And let's see, box breakout. And this one did have some good volume. And I read Dr. Michael Burry, the Big Short, has been buying this particular one. That's either fantastic news or it's terrible news, but I don't know. The worst news is if Kramer says he likes your stock. Then that's the kiss of death. What do we got? QQQs, box breakout, but low volume. Where's the volume? Why aren't they driving this? They were selling it all in here, and the money hasn't come back into the QQQs as much. Yeah, price has gone up, but buying pressure, buying volume, interesting. Where did it go? Where did they go? Coming back. Slight rebound. Here's another box breakout. Semiconductors. Oh, look at this. Another low volume breakout. I'm beginning to sense a theme here. S&P 500. Low volume breakout. SPY. Same as the S&P 500, but low volume. Where did the buyers go? Who's buying this? Are the big institutions piling in because they love the index? Yeah, I'm not so sure. Short covering, retail. Either way, you got to consider this. I think you're beginning to sense a theme, as I am, that this rally, while good, meaning we're making money as it goes up, might not be the strongest rally that's ever happened. Sentiment. Look at that. Just 5 weeks ago, we're all gonna die down here. Then we rebound, prices rebound, and we hit back to the highs. It didn't really close here, so I'm not coming up here. In fact, like this one should be off. But we hit the highs in sentiment. Now we're coming down. Kind of matches how the market's been going the last few weeks, huh? All this shit's correlated. What do we got? More sentiment. Mostly in sentiment, I'm just looking for extremes. Yeah, we hit a little bit of a down extreme there, but this one, the tan, yeah, solar sucks. I've been crapping all over solar for weeks and weeks. I just hit a button on my keys. I'm not sure what I just did, but let's see here. TLT. Box breakdown. Big volume. Not so big on the rebound, but it's coming back. But until it reclaims this 93.20 level, this is just a light counter trend in a bigger downtrend. That's my opinion, anyways, on that. What else we got? Here we go. Uranium. Oh, box breakout. And big volume, uranium. Nuclear power is the future. Solar is a flop. Renewables a flop. It's all a flop. What is that? The VIX. Man, how low can the VIX go? Not that I really track the VIX much, but it's down here at 12. I guess it could go to the 10s. Even the nines, wow, it's just amazing. There's no volatility anywhere. And by the way, there's your signal, that inside bar signal back when the sell-off began. What else we got? Say no, sideways. Slightly positive on energy. I mean, with all the electricity for AI and everything, energy should be just fine. Box breakout, low volume. So I said you'd be sensing a new theme, a new trend. Well, that's what I'm seeing, is that this breakout is on low volume. Okay, list two. This should be the best of the best. Textbook box breakouts. It's where everything comes together as exactly that you want it. This one, perfect box, Darvas box breakout. It's a little of a tough one to trade, but yep, you've got a legit new trend starting there. Looks good to me. Interesting. Big box, Darvas box breakout. Big green volume, but oh, look at that. Big red selling. What happened there? Now, normally when you get green followed by red, it means price is not gonna be shooting up like other stocks might. There's some resistance going on in here. And let me show you the example, what happened the last time you had a green and then red. Right here, and price then went sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 months. Is price going to go sideways 4 to 5 months? Maybe, maybe not. But that's something to pay attention to. Bros, I'm long this one. 2 big weeks of green volume. Looks good to me. Kava, look at that. If you miss the breakout in Kava, here's your inside bar. Your chance to get long this one, if it goes up to the top. If it goes down to the bottom, well, don't buy it. But there's a setup signal, and so if you miss this whole little breakout run, here's your chance to get in this upcoming week. Looks good. Same deal with Carvana. So everybody talks about how I want to buy episodic pivots, EPs. Well, what's funny is EPs tend to screw you because you're a follow-on chaser. Like you buy them and then price starts going down and then you get screwed. Well, here's a method on how to get into this. So you miss the big gap up. Okay, fine. Wait for the next signal. Here's a signal. If it hits the highs, buy it. If it goes for the lows, well, you could short it, but more likely you just avoid it. I caught this gap, so I'm in no hurry, but if it goes up, I'm going to buy that. What other evidence do I have? Well, green volume. There's no big red volume anywhere, except maybe like a little smidge right there. Where are the sellers? Are they really selling it? Nope. So that looks like a pretty valid signal to me. Moving on. This one, I tried trading it. This one's just a hard one. It's got big, wide spreads, but textbook box breakout. If you own it and you can sit patiently, then it's paying off. Qualcomm looks great. Look at that. Here's one of the leaders. I own this one. Bought it here, added here. Box breakout right here and big green volume. This one looks great. Here's the signal. What do you do on those? You know it. Buy it if it goes up. This one, textbook dark box breakout on Shark Ninja. And I keep thinking of the movie Sharknado when I see this one. VST, another gorgeous uptrend. Big volume here, interesting. Interesting how it stands out like that. All right, let's keep going. List three. These are stocks with uh, bullish things on their charts. Could be signals, could be other stuff, but not perfect. Apple. So even though Apple's kind of a mess, it had a yellow bar buy signal here. It had inside weak here and an upward resolution to it. That's bullish. Now I'm a bear on Apple, but right now this means don't do anything. The market's too positive. You want to see the difference? If you're not 100% sure, change your time frame. Let's look at monthly. Oh, much more clear. It's in a box range on the monthly. Ping ponging, like Nick Darvas said. Ping pong, ping pong. And so don't do anything. It's going sideways. And it could go sideways for months. It's not ready yet. Do they have problems? Yeah, but wait for a signal. You had a great signal right here, which I've circled, but and I shorted it from here and I covered here, but right now it's bullish. Do I want it? No. AMD. This one's here. This was a good short trade, and I'll mention this. If you saw and missed this signal right here to sell, raise your hand. Everybody do it. I missed it. Raise your hand. Everybody raise your hand. I'm no different from everybody else. I missed it. I saw it and I did nothing. Well, if you took this signal, you then got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, roughly 8 weeks of a short trade. You would have covered probably like, call it 160. So you would have been in there from, call it 200 to 160, 40-point gain. Now it's giving you a couple opportunities to cover here and here, and now it's moving back up a little bit. That's trading, baby. Do I want AMD? And here's why. Here's why I'm not excited about it. Where's the big volume? So right now it's just moving around, but there's no big mover. Here's where I wanted to have bought it, right there. And boy, I kind of messed that up. But it is what it is. Amazon's bullish, great uptrend, no signals, no boxes either for how I draw them. Bell, I'm fighting this one. I shorted it here. I covered over here. You see this yellow? It's a little hard to see. I covered right there, and then I'm just pissed off at it because it just looks so awful. Red, 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 red. But it's a bull market phase, so it's probably futile. Price is probably just going to drag it up until the market turns again. But that's trading. This one here, yellow bar buy signal. Box breakout, but low volume. Hey, I thought uranium was doing great. Box breakout here, low volume. And that's a box breakout. And on, say it with me. In fact, drink every time we say this. Low volume. Drink. Oh, box breakout, low volume. If we all had some cocktails, we'd all be getting hammered. Box breakout, low volume. Dude, you're getting low volume. Now, low volumes can work. And this one really has started to come on, but when you're trying to be systemic. Box breakout, say it again, low volume, drink. Donnie, I love you, but your stock is no bueno. Here's one which I bought. I own this one. Hammer bar here. Boy, you got three colored signals in a row. We got some really big volume sticking out. Granted, it came down on this, but it's a this is a lot of mixed signals. So I'm long here. Basically, there's where if it's going to go bad, it'll go there. But I'm expecting that these green buyers will probably buy again. But I don't know. We'll see. Box breakdown here, but now we've got a bullish hammer signal right here. This might be a buying opportunity or it might not. Got to wait for the reaction. Haha, GME. Okay, so on this one, I'm really pissed at myself because we actually had a yellow bar buy signal here a couple weeks before, but I wasn't following this one, so I missed it. Then there's the volume, then there's the big move, and look at that, a bearish shooter bar. So basically, what's the underside? 1970. If this hits 1970, it's over. Forget about it. Set an alert. It's just ridiculous. But there's your signal. Signal, signal. All the talk of, oh, the squeeze is about to begin. Yeah, no, the squeeze is over, or just about over. If it hits 1970 and stays below it, it's over. So, tell your family, tell your friends. Google, higher, low volume, low volume. I like this one, hood. Now it's not a breakout, it's close, it's very close. So we'll call this just flat out bullish. But this one looks very interesting. We might have to end up buying it tomorrow. Yeah. Bullish. Up, drank. Low volume. Drink again. Low volume. Oh, I own this one. Had a gorgeous Darvas box breakout here, and now it's come in here. So on this one, how are we going to play this? Buy it if it hits the top, and the big question, is that a sell for me if it hits the bottom? I don't know. Great reaction to earnings. No one had any idea. So on this one, making note of it, it's on the bullish list back again. MNDY. Keep an eye on it. One thing on MNDY. I bought it here. I sold it here. I should have sold it up here. But notice here that we got a big earnings report. Nobody had any clue. In fact, the market thought that in this range, starting around here, the market thought that the earnings were not going to be any good. So that's both a positive and a negative. And it makes trading this just so difficult. Why can't the institutions figure it out? Or what's management doing? I don't know. But either way, great reaction, so keep an eye on this one. Drank, low volume. Earnings on NVIDIA this upcoming week. No signals, maybe a box breakout, maybe not. Notice here, back to it, volume kind of low, decreasing. Let's see what happens. The Nancy Pelosi trade, here's your signal. Buy it right here on the reaction, and you've made 285, you're up 30 points. Nancy Pelosi is the best living trader of our time. It's incredible. The D word, drink. Low volume breakout. Anything standing out? This one's great. This is just one, just hasn't given you any real signals here. If you were desperate to get into TMDX, and this was just a big gap up, you just would have had to chase. Without any real signals, maybe one here. Sometimes you just got to buy it and, hold your nose and just do it. I don't own it, but it just looks fantastic. Anything standing out? This one's bullish. It's a bearish breakdown, but a bullish signal this week, so it'll probably get moved. All right, let's get through this. We're almost getting through it. Number 4, bearish list. Okay, coin. So everyone is so bullish on coin, right? I'm not. We've got a declining box. Now this box keeps getting adjusted lower. I almost should not take it away. A lower like there. It had a signal here and it failed it. Triggered it, but it didn't close it, so okay. But then on this week, this is a bullish setup, and what did it do? It belly flopped, heading down to the lows. And now it's really kind of mixed. On a daily, you got a signal right here. I might short this if it hits 199.83. Let's call it even 200. In fact, let's give ourselves a smidge of room. We'll do 200 spot 10. If it goes to the upside, well, yeah, then maybe it's a buy. But I don't see anything on the big picture which suggests the buy. We had all the buyers back in here, then some sellers here, and ever since this bar right here, it's been going sideways to down. And look at that. Where's my big green volume? It's just not there. This might be going sideways for longer also. Signal here, inside bar reaction. All right. Oh. Nothing there, nothing standing out. PLTR, I know everybody loves this one, but the way it's trading, there's nothing to love here at the moment. Upstart. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to move my trade markers for a sec. This was a bullish signal. I bought right down in here just as a cheater, which was a good idea. It went up. It had a box breakout. But then a funny thing happened on the way to big highs. You had a very clear daily signal right here. And that's a bearish signal, very clear. And what happened? Price then, crunched back down. And now the net result is you've got a bearish shooter bar. So it goes from being bullish to bearish in the span of 2 weeks. I made some good quick money on this, like 25 to 28. All right, fine. But now that could be bearish. This one I covered, shorted here, and here's the cover. And it's got earnings coming up in about 2 weeks. So maybe this was a good decision, maybe it's not, I don't know, but shorts are just hard in this environment, so it's not surprising. Oopsie. No, list 5, these are the avoids. These ones should be the worst of the worst, or it's just stuff which just says no. No. Airbnb, yeah, no, there's a bearish signal right there. Inside bar, short it if It goes lower, 144.75. Sideways. Box breakdown on metal. I'm going to try and say this. Metallurgical coal. Coal for metal. Yeah, that doesn't look too healthy. Look at that. You had a box breakdown here. Another one here. Are we going into a recession? Less demand for metal? Probably. FJB. Nothing really there. Nothing here. Oh, box breakdown on police gear. Look at that. Signal here. Another signal here. And now a failure. Tasers. Oh, here's one. Here's a setup. Remember how housing is getting weak? Big box breakdown here. Shooter bar here. Short the lows. Maybe time to bet against home builders, or at least the suppliers. Let's look at this on a monthly. Hell of a run from 2020 to here. Where could this go down? This could come down to the moving average, say maybe to like 130. Well, it still doesn't look all that good. Anything standing out here? Almost a box breakdown. Let's make this bigger. Almost a box breakdown, but an inside, this one could still be a potential short. It could be a long also. Remember, insides are 50-50. Anything here on dash? No. This one, 2 chances to short it. In some ways, the shorts, if you really hit them, are doing better than longs, or just as good. I'm an equal opportunity trader. I'll go short or long, doesn't matter. This is actually bullish right here, but the overall picture on this one I don't like, so I'm not going to touch it. Net, I'm still short this one based on signal here. We've got nothing here, but it just is doing a low volume rebound. I might have to cover that. We'll see. Roblox looking fugly. Rivian, there's a signal right there. Yeah. Shopify, signal to the negative here, box breakdown here, another negative signal. And I did see on Twitter somebody mentioned that people are looking at this saying this is a huge buy opportunity in Shop. Is this a buy opportunity? Are you kidding me? No, it might be. Yeah, go ahead. Knock yourself out. Go buy it here. I don't know what they're talking about. This is the problem with drawing trend lines, in my opinion. When the market's telling you different signals. Now, if it starts going back up above, call it 60 and up, all right, maybe it has a little rebound. Maybe it's all the trend line buyers. But overall, this picture looks terrible. And a terrible picture would match the American consumer that might be struggling and going into a recession. So we'll see. Oh, SoFi, yeah, whatever. Maybe a little setup here, but because we had the box breakdown, but then, the inside week didn't fail. Any real impetus to get long here? Nope. Uber, look at that. Uber giving it up. Uber was so hot until this bar happened. The market talks to you. When this bar happened, everything stopped from that point on. Everything happens for a reason. All right, last list, and then we'll wrap this up. A-Lab, the new hot IPO fizzled out. Why? Drank, low volume. And almost box breakout. This should be more and bullish. Berkshire, well, America seems to be doing okay here. Sideways. What's this? Oh, Elf. You know, it's interesting. The more time goes by, the more it's amazing. Look at these big reds. Red, 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 red. And now we get, I just killed myself. I should have sold up here. I didn't. I sold down here. But now that we get this, look at that. That's a negative reaction. And actually that should be on bearish. But Elf doesn't look too good. And it's got earnings this week as well. What are the odds that Elf has a negative reaction to its earning report? Oh, nothing. Slightly positive here, but no real volume. I'm not going to move it. Now I should move it. Let's be consistent. That goes into the bullish side. Anything else that needs to be moved? Whoop, Ford. Shipping, yeah, looking going up. Oh, something here on General Electric. Notice here, incredible move from down here all the way to up here. That would be 40, 50 bucks, a triple. Well, the red line is these past highs from right here. But notice this. This is a very mild bearish shooter bar. And it's triggered. And triggering means it's called being in force. And is that a peak for General Electric? It might be. There's no big red volume, so it's hard to tell. But this could be the top right there. A little bit of a peak on that spinoff. MDB going sideways, doing nothing. Sideways, sideways. IPOs are hard. There's no signals on here, but if you caught it, great. But no real signals on the weekly. More insides. SMCI climbed back into its Darvas box, but it's bullish based on this little signal here. But is this really bullish? Well, where'd the volume go? Last big volume was over here. I hate to say it, but this isn't the darling it used to be. Here you go, Tesla. Now the opportunity in Tesla, whether to buy, may possibly buy it or possibly sell it, it's finally here. So if you miss a gap or you miss a big move, don't worry about it. Wait for a real signal. And URI, one thing about this one, this tends to match the economy. Right now, just sideways. Sideways for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Interesting. Everybody waiting for a buyout of this drug, you might be waiting a long time. And that's it for list 6. And with that, we're going to wrap this up. So have yourself a good trading week. We've got a theme. You've probably been drinking a lot by now. Lots of low volume breakouts. So be cautious. Pick the good ones with the volume. If we do have a bad week, some of those low volume breakouts might give it all back. But I don't know. We'll see what happens one day at a time. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a good weekend. Bye.